Hello, race fans. Welcome to the Arizonian Desert for round 2 of the 1999 Seasonal Showdown season. 43 cars made the field for today's event. 20 cars have failed to qualify. So before we start, let's take a look at your point standings. CJ, in the lead of points, 41 points coming into today's event. Although he starts near the back, he's going to have a lot to do to get up to the front today. Jake, also towards the back, towards the middle of the field. He's second in points. He's got a lot to do. John Andretti, third in points. Higher than both of them. He starts about 2 to 3 positions ahead of the 20. Got a better shot than them. Red Cross, pretty deep in the field today. He's got a lot to do. He's in fourth, 37 points. Tied with him is Nas, who will round out the field for today's event. Jeremy Mayfield, back in 6th, 35 points. Jeff Gordon, 7th, 35 points as well. NASCAR Fan 3, driver of the number 22 Pontiac. He's 34 points. He's in 8th. 9th, AHZ, drives the number 21. He has 33 points. Back in 10th, Mike Skinner, 32 points. 30 points, Michael Waltrip, back in 11th. Dale Earnhardt, 12th. He has 29 points. Rocket, the number 8 car, he's 13th. He has 28. Steve Park, that's your top 15. Steve Park has 27 points. That's your top 14. And that's really all you need to know. So let's take a look at your ones to watch. Earnhardt moves over to the number 30 as Intimidator takes the number 31. The Intimidator replaces the Intimidator. Let's see. He's on the pole here alongside Jeff Gordon at 25. It'll be pretty interesting to see what can happen. Mark Martin, that Hooters number 72, makes the field for today's event in dominating fashion. He'll start in the top 10. See if he can dig his way through the field. And there he is, the number 4, Mike Skinner, starting highest of the top 5 in points. So no, we mean John Andretti, not Mike Skinner. Mike Skinner is down in the top 10. John Andretti sits third in points. And between CJ, Jake, Andretti, Red Cross, and Nas, Andretti sits highest among the 5. There's Jake in the 20 car. He looks to move on from Daytona, the events that happened last week. He looks to put those in the rearview mirror and move on to today, try to win the race. And if we can, we'll put a clip of that incident there that happened at Daytona up for you guys. Oh, CJ's going to go to the outside. Here comes Jake on the outside of CJ. Rusty Wallace goes around. Huge wreck. Oh! And it wasn't enough. CJ's going to win the race as Jake tried to take him out there. Your final one to watch is not one specific driver. It's a group of drivers. Some of the drivers making their first start. The number 9 team, number 10 team, Swag, 45 team, Dave, and a few other drivers making starts under some circumstances. Kyle in the 18 car after Bob Labonte got injured in a crash at Daytona. The 40 went up and over the 18 of Bobby Labonte. Caused Bobby Labonte some injuries. Driver of the 40, Sterling Marlin, decided to sit out today. And he's going to go ahead and sit out for today and next week. And a driver will fill in for him. Driver's name is Kai. He'll be the fill-in for that 40 team until Marlin feels content with getting back behind the wheel of the car. 88 team, JK will fill in for the 88 after some circumstances where the 88 went up and over, got T-boned on the driver's side roof in that flip. It's taken some time to recover. The 88 will be there. JK will be their fill-in driver while they wait for him to get better. Intimidator taking the number 31. pushes the actual Intimidator, Dale Earnhardt, over to the 30, while Intimidator makes some part-time starts for this season. That ought to do it for your ones to watch. Let's go trackside for the command. Seasonal Showdown host once again giving you your command. Drivers, start your engines. As the cars roll off, let's take a look at your starting lineup presented by Lowe's. In row 1, we have Dale Earnhardt Sr., Jeff Gordon. In row 2, we have Rusty Wallace, Kyle Petty. In row 3, we have Jeff Burton and Mark Martin. In row 4, we have Bill Elliott and NASCAR Fan 3. Back in row 5, we have Steve Park and Kenny Wallace taking over the 55 for this race. And in row 6, we have Tilly and Jeremy Mayfield. In row 7, we have Mike Skinner and John Andretti. In row 8, we have Bow and Michael Waltrip. Row 9, we have Jake and Jimmy Spencer. Row 10, we have Red Cross and JK, who's filling in for an injured Dale Jarrett. Row 11, we have Ward Burton in the 41, who failed to qualify the 96, hopped over to the 41 for today's race. Same thing with Todd Bodine after that Daytona crash. Toast was injured. Bodine failed to qualify his 11 car, so Roger Penske let him hop in the 2 car. Back in row 12, we have Carson and Kenny Irwin Jr. Row 13, we have the row of Kyles. Kyle in the number 3, and the Kyle in the Busch series. Got the promotion here to race for an injured Bobby Labonte. Row 14, Ash and Warlock, pair of Fords. Another pair of Fords, row 15, Jan and Daniel. Row 16, Robert Presley and Rocket. Row 17, Dave and Intimidator. Row 18, Kai racing for a spooked driver of the 40, Sterling Marlin. Got spooked after going over the 18. He sits out for today. And Swag is to his outside. Row 19, Matt and MCS. Row 20 is Justin and ERSN 610. Row 21, Dale Earnhardt Jr. and CJ. And rounding out the field for today's event, the always slow 00 car of NAS. Green flags in the air here at Phoenix. And as number 30 in the 12 wastes no time heading to the lead, passing Earnhardt and Gordon. Take a 3 wide. Rusty Wallace is going to lead it back, and the number 4 car already out. Their engine lasted just as long as there was a crash. And I was going to say the four team's engine lasted just as long as a Kodak battery. And you see coming across the line, this 7 car of CJ had a tire rub. As it looks like VEI cars are coming down pit road along with the RCR cars. Part of that alliance there, they pit together. Looks like the 9 came down as well. And a few cars being taken away. They're all out. CJ. Oh, green flags back in the air. Unfortunate day for Dale Earnhardt Jr. Already 1 lap down, and we're not too far into this event. Rusty Wallace back out leading. There's the number 22. Jeff Gordon trying to work on the outside of the 22 to the lead now. Oh, a little squirrely in the back. There's a few cars there. The 22's in the wall. Mark Martin's going to lead for the first time today. And now the 55's out front. Oh, and there's a spin in the back. The 57, Jeremy Mayfield. And I think the 27 also went around. Tough day. I don't know what happened. It looks like Mayfield just spun it loose. And yeah, the 27 didn't go around as well. Looked like he got dumped by somebody back there. Not quite sure what happened there. It looked like he got dumped by somebody, but he's out too. And green flag's back in the air. As here we go, Dale Earnhardt Jr. Oh, and the 8's around, along with the 55. Oh, the number 1! He's over the wall! That's the second time in 2 races that this has happened. And I don't know, NASCAR is going to examine that 1 car, but it looks like a brake failure. He couldn't brake and he got slammed in the wall. A few more cars pit. Rocket is now 1 lap down, accompanying Junior. As Mark Martin back out to the lead, here comes Rusty Wallace. Oh, the 41's going to jump to the lead. It's the first time we've talked about Ward Burton all day. And here comes the 25. And Mark Martin had some contact with the 28 as we're upon lap traffic now. Oh, the 24, Jeff Gordon, took out the 02. I think the 02 put him in the wall down the straightaway. And here they go out of their cars and they're fighting. Both those cars being taken away now. As their laps are few. And this should hopefully be the last green flag. Green flag's back in the air now. 3 cars are 1 lap down or more. Here comes Mark Martin. He's trying to get back to the lead. The 70, his teammate, Burton to the lead. There's Spencer. And the 41's around. Here we go. White flag's in the air. And it's going to be, the 23's around. And the 72, Mark Martin, will win it at Phoenix. There we go. As always, before we sign off, we'd like to thank the fans in the stands who showed up today and the fans who are watching at home from their couches. We thank you for tuning in to race 2 of 10 on the schedule, and we hope to see you guys next time. Let's take a look at your points before we sign off. After 2 races, Dale Earnhardt Sr. overtakes the points lead, and that also means that the 22 now is in second, tied for the lead of points. Earnhardt and NASCAR Fan 3 both have 67 points. Third in points, Rusty Wallace led laps in Daytona, led laps here. He led the most laps in both of those races. 3 at Daytona, I believe about half the race here. And that boosted him up to 3rd in the points this far into the season. But anything can change in a heartbeat. It just takes 1 DNF. As CJ has learned here. CJ really quickly dropped from 1st in the standings all the way to 11th. Heartbreak for that 7 team. But 4th in the standings, Michael Waltrip. Pretty good today. Nice top 10 finish. His 2nd of the season, I believe. Jake finished 2nd at Daytona. Finished way down the running order here. He's going to move back to 5th in the standings from 2nd. Daniel takes a huge leap up in the point standings. He now is 6th. 7th in the point standings. Scarson also takes a huge leap after Daytona. It's a good run here at Phoenix. Another good run, Jeff Gordon. Though it wasn't enough. Had that incident with Carson. With a few to go in the race today. It just didn't work out. Ward Burton continuing to struggle here. He sits 9th in the standings, which is not bad in the grand scheme of things, but considering his last 2 runs at here and Daytona, not the best. Not going to win him this championship. And we got Rocket, number 8 car, 10th in the standings, finished 2 laps down today. CJ, as we mentioned beforehand, 11th in the standings, dropped 10 spots. Mark Martin, with 1 race, moves up to the top 14. And that's what we're going to be looking at all season, only your top 14. We'll talk about others in the point standings, but we'll only show you your top 14. 13th, Red Cross. He's tied in a 3-way tie, 43 points. Mark Martin, Red Cross, and John Andretti. John Andretti loses a lot of spots from 3rd all the way down to 14th. That's a lot of spots lost for that team. Kyle, driving the number 3 car, 21st in points. Not a good rookie season for them. Could be a whole lot better. terrible rookie season for the 6 car, Jan, so far. Jan is 44th in points. Jan is so far behind drivers that have only made 1 start. Jan's made 2. Not a good season for that 6 car. Move it up the running order. Jeremy Mayfield, after 2 races, sits 16th. Ken Irwin Jr. is 18th. 19th, Nas 00. Loses a couple spots from Daytona. Bow, the number 24 car. 35 points. He's looking alright. If that 24 car could just stay out of trouble next week, I think he'll be okay. And we're tuning out here, but next time we guys will see you in the highways of North Carolina.